Welcome back to episode 4, where today we're going to be looking at quality time in the Love Languages series for how we can look at love languages for self-love. So what does quality time mean as a love language? Quality time is when you really enjoy and feel nourished by your partner spending time with you, where you're really the focus of their attention. So if your partner gives you eye contact, is completely attentive with you, is active listening to what you're saying, that's going to really get you going if your love language is quality time. So spending quality time with someone, the opposite of that might be chatting to someone but they're like scrolling on their phone or not really paying attention to you. So if that's your love language, you might feel a little bit irritated when you spend time with somebody but you're not really connecting with them. You kind of feel like you're talking to them but you feel misunderstood in the conversation, or they're not really listening, or they're not really present with you. So what does this mean for our relationship with ourselves? Well, quality time is something that we think we must get with ourselves naturally, but it's really not. How often do you spend time just scrolling on your phone, looking at another screen, not really being present with yourself, with the experience that you're having right now? So what can we do about that? How can we have quality time in a self-love situation? Quality time comes from mindfulness practices. So if you're part of my positive psychology WhatsApp group, you've got loads of mindfulness practices there, mindfulness of breathing, mindful walking, all sorts of different mindful practices. But if you are looking to build more mindfulness in, it's about being with yourself compassionately, non-judgmentally in the present moment. So allowing whatever is coming up for you, whatever experience you're having right now, to be the experience that you're having. Not trying to change it, not trying to reframe it or have it in a different way, just experiencing life as it comes up moment by moment. And we think that we do that, but actually so many of us are not present. We're away with our thoughts, or we're, doing something else. And when we multitask, we're our least present. So when we're multitasking, we're having the least quality time with ourselves. Sometimes we have to multitask, to do everything that we need to get done in the day. But if you can assign some time to not multitask, to do whatever you're doing and do it mindfully, and that can be anything. You can do anything mindfully. You can eat mindfully. You can breathe mindfully. You can walk mindfully. You can listen to and enjoy different experiences mindfully. But you can also do them mindlessly and to just pay no attention to them as you're doing them. And you kind of lose some of the richness of life, and you lose the ability to really connect with yourself in that moment. Another way to really intentionally build in some quality time is to sit in meditation. Mindfulness and meditation are similar, but they're not necessarily the same thing. So if you sit in meditation, especially the type of meditation where you're not guided, but you're actually just observing yourself, observing your breath, your thoughts, your sensations in your body, that's real true quality time. You're listening to what's going on inside and you're curious. What's coming up for me? And it's almost inviting a sense of curiosity, of exploration into your meditative state, so that you're sitting with yourself and you're building a comfort and familiarity with just simply being there, with observing yourself internally. Another really great way that you can bring in like a deeper sense of quality time is to make time for your hobbies, the things that you enjoy. When our lives fill up and they get busy with work, with family commitments, with all sorts of things that our lives become full with, often we find that we squeeze out some of the things that make us who we are, that really light us up. So another really great way for quality time is to schedule in some time to do some of the things that really bring you joy in your life. So some of those things might be joining a course or a group or something where you get to practice your hobby with others, but it might also be making time to do it yourself. For me, I have a love of learning. I absolutely love reading, but it's one of the first things to get squeezed out when I know that my schedule's a bit too full. I tell myself I don't have time to read. So really scheduling in time each day to read is a way that I build in quality time with myself, that I sit and honour myself, my interests, who I like to be and who I want to become. Another really excellent way to focus on quality time with yourself is actually to notice on what you're doing, what activities you're doing when you are by yourself, and notice if they are really nourishing you. So prioritizing sleep, prioritizing exercise, prioritizing eating well, all of these things are a way that you can nurture quality time with yourself, because they're things that you're doing intentionally to feel good. Another really good thing that you can do to have more quality time with yourself is to not overschedule, to not overbook or overcommit. And that can be one of the hardest things, especially when we have these full lives with lots of demands on us and our time anyway. And especially if you're ambitious or you kind of run your own business or something like that, it can become so easy for your schedule, and I'm speaking from experience, to become incredibly full with lots of different things that you do and people to see, places to go, courses to do, all these kinds of different things. And if that's you, if that's the case with you, and you feel like you never really have a moment to yourself, you're always busy, one of the best things you can do for quality time is to literally carve out a day where you have nothing planned. Even if it's just once a month to begin with, if time feels scarce, having a day that you set aside, that nothing can be scheduled in advance, that is just free for you to do whatever you want to do, either by yourself or with others. But as long as you've got that time set aside, it becomes a real gift to yourself. When you've been kind of like a hamster on a hamster wheel, keep going, it can feel like your life becomes, I don't know, like the equivalent of cluttered, like a cluttered space, but your life, your time, your schedule becomes cluttered with, running from thing to thing, appointment to appointment, and never actually getting a chance to just be and breathe and be present. Finally, the last way, and this is one of my favourite ways to really have quality time with myself, is to make time for journaling. Journaling is great because it builds in a time where you're self-reflecting, but you're also doing it in a really structured way. So if you just kind of self-reflect in your thoughts, it can lead to rumination. You can just kind of think and think and think until you feel anxious about something, or you get something that makes you feel a bit low, and your thoughts run away with you. When you journal, you write about something. It can just be stream of consciousness writing, meaning you write exactly the thoughts as they come up in your head without editing them, just as they come to mind. But you've got an amazing space that you can read back through it, you can self-reflect, you can see what your beliefs are, what stories you're telling yourself, what things are important and keep coming up again and again. And so journaling not only allows you to spend quality time whilst you're journaling, but reading back your journal is a really great way to kind of active listen to yourself, I suppose. Really pay attention to your thoughts, the way that you're thinking, and to really get to know yourself in a deeper way. And whether that's getting to know yourself to love yourself as you are, or getting to know yourself as a platform to change things that you want to change, both are equally relevant reasons to journal. And for me, journaling feels like a brain dump. It's like getting everything that's kind of whooshing around up here and like putting it out somewhere else, so that I feel like I've kind of dealt with that or resolved it somehow. So I really hope that you've enjoyed the quality time self-love language tips that we've had. And if you want to really spend some quality time with yourself, the main thing that's important is to just bring yourself here to the present moment. To not be in a million places at once, but to just give yourself the gift of being here. The simplest, easiest way to do that is to come back and give yourself 3 intentional breaths just here in the present moment. So we're going to close the video today with 3 deep intentional breaths. I invite you now to close your eyes, turn your awareness inwards, and we're going to practice 3 moments of breathing in, exhaling out. savouring this moment of quality time. Inhale, deeply exhale. One last full deep breath. I hope you have a really great time implementing some of these tips and having some quality time with yourself.